Hi, my name is Eric and I'm going to talk about the phrasal verbs. What is a phrasal verb? Different types of phrasal verbs, the meaning of 10 separable phrasal verbs, the meaning of 10 inseparable phrasal verbs, and an example of each one. What is a phrasal verb? In English traditional grammar, a phrasal verb is a combination of two or three words from different grammatical categories. A verb and a particle, such as an adverb or a preposition, to form a single semantic unit on the lexical or syntactic level. The different types of phrasal verbs are the separable and the inseparable. The separable phrasal verbs. The separable phrasal verbs are the transitive phrasal verb which allow an object to be placed between the verb and its particle or after the whole verb. For example, in the image, we can see Jack took his jacket off. But it could be Jack took off his jacket. But how is a separable phrasal verb? We can put the object between the verb and the particle. Some transitive phrasal verbs which require an object, allow an object to be placed either between the verb and particle or after the entire phrasal verb. With this type of verb, if the object is a pronoun, the pronoun must go in the middle of the phrasal verb, between the verb and particle. For example, this sentence, it could be the terrorist blew up the car, or the terrorist blew the car up, or the terrorist blew it up. Now I'm going to talk about the meaning of 10 separable phrasal verbs. The first separable phrasal verb is add up. The meaning of add up is calculate a sum. For example, I added up the receipts and it totaled 135.46. En Spanish, agregué los recibos y totalizaron 135.46. The next phrasal verb is blow up. The meaning of blow up is cause to explode, destroy by explosives, or enlarge a photograph. For example, the bomb blew up before they could defuse it. En Spanish, la bomba explotó antes de que pudieran desactivarla. The next phrasal verb is break down. The meaning of break down is analyze or list the parts of something separately. For example, we need to break this problem down in order to solve. Necesitamos analizar este problema para resolverlo. The next phrasal verb is bring about. The meaning of bring about is cause something to happen. For example, democracy brought about great change in the lives of the people. En Spanish, la democracia provocó grandes cambios en la vida de las personas. The next phrasal verb is call off. The meaning of call off is cancel something, wherever. For example, they called the picnic off because of the rain. En Spanish, ellas cancelaron el picnic debido a la lluvia. The next phrasal verb is dress up. The meaning of dress up is decorate, put clothes on, adorn, or dress for a special occasion. For example, you could dress this house up with some bright colors. En Spanish, podrías decorar esta casa con algunos colores brillantes. The next phrasal verb is hang up. The meaning of hang up is end a phone call or put clothes on a hanger for storage. For example, you can hang your jacket up in the front closet. En Spanish, puedes colgar tu chaqueta en el armario delantero. The next phrasal verb is save up. The meaning of save up is accumulate money. For example, I hope I will be able to save up enough money to go to school. En Spanish, espero poder ahorrar suficiente dinero para ir a la escuela. The next phrasal verb is take down. The meaning of take down is remove from a high position, right from dictation. For example, the city government made a shop take down their bright neon sign. En Spanish, el gobierno de la ciudad hizo que la tienda retirara su brillante cartel de neón. The next phrasal verb is write down. The meaning of write down is record something in writing. For example, write down the directions so you don't forget them. En Spanish, escriba las instrucciones para no olvidarlas. The other type of phrasal verbs are the inseparable. An inseparable phrasal verb is a transitive phrasal verb which doesn't allow an object to be placed between the verb and particle. For example, in this sentence, it couldn't be I ran him into. It's I ran into him, because the inseparable phrasal verb cannot be separated by an object. And I'm going to talk about the meaning of 10 inseparable phrasal verbs. The first phrasal verb is back out. The meaning of back out is fail to keep a promise or break an agreement to do something. For example, Sam backed out at the last second. In Spanish, Sam retrocedió en el último segundo. The next phrasal verb is call for. The meaning of call for is come to collect somebody or require something. For example, this recipe calls for milk, not water. En Spanish, esta receta requiere leche, no agua. The next phrasal verb is face up to. The meaning of face up to is acknowledge something difficult or embarrassing. For example, I never be able to face up to my colleagues after getting so drunk last night at the work party. En Spanish, nunca podré enfrentarme a mis colegas después de haberme emborrachado tanto anoche en la fiesta del trabajo. The next phrasal verb is get on. The meaning of get on is enter in a vehicle, mount a horse, bicycle, or in a motorbike. For example, the bus was full. We couldn't get on. En Spanish, el autobús estaba lleno. No pudimos subirnos. The next phrasal verb is get away. The meaning of get away is do something against the rules or illegal and not get caught or punished. For example, my sister gets away with everything. En Spanish, mi hermana se escapa con todo. O mi hermana se sale con la suya con todo. The next phrasal verb is hit on. The meaning of hit on is discover accidentally, usually an idea. For example, I hit on the idea while watching The Simpsons show. En Spanish, llegué a la idea mientras veía el show de Los Simpsons. The next phrasal verb is look after. The meaning of look after is take care of a child, a house, or a pet. For example, when my sister goes on vacation, I look after her dog. En Spanish, cuando mi hermana se va de vacaciones, yo cuido de su perro. The next phrasal verb is see about. The meaning of see about is consider or arrange for something to be done. For example, my dad said he was going to see about buying me a car. En Spanish, mi papá dijo que iba a ver sobre comprarme un carro. The next phrasal verb is stand up for. The meaning of stand up for is support or defend something or somebody, often your rights. For example, every individual must stand up for what they believe in. Cada individuo debe defender lo que cree. And the last phrasal verb is talk back to. The meaning of talk back to is respond in an impolite way to an adult. For example, children should not talk back to their parents. En Spanish, los niños no deben responder a sus padres. And ready. This was the meaning of what is a phrasal verb and the meanings of 10 separable and 10 inseparable phrasal verbs.